All right, excellent. We've got that recording going. Thank you so much, everyone. Once again, it's an absolute pleasure to be here, to have the opportunity to share information about our activities at Cotton Incorporated, and specifically today, the activities within the Fiber Competition Division. I have two brilliant staff members that are going to help me present today. We have Erika Perez, who's based in our Mexico City office and represents our marketing department, and then Julie Mendoza here in the Cary office with me, who represents our technical service department. We're here today to present to you information about a software package called Engineered Fiber Selection, or EFS, and we are happily celebrating the 40th anniversary of the use of this software package by the textile industry. Now, I have got pages of data of historical developments that have occurred over time, but we won't be getting into that. And I know that a presentation software first thing in the morning before you've had more than one cup of coffee is going to be a bit daunting. So we're just going to hit you right off from the start with the takeaway message. What are we doing for U.S. cotton in particular? And the information we have is that since we began documenting consumption numbers of EFS licensees in 2016, we know that over 56 million bales of cotton have been processed with the aid of EFS software. 75% of that cotton has been U.S. cotton. And if we just take a snapshot in time, for example, in 2022, that wasn't quite 20,000 bales a day being processed with EFS software, which equates to almost $7.5 million worth of cotton every single day being managed by EFS globally. And this is critical from the standpoint that if you recognize that 60% of the cost of manufacturing a yarn is the cost of the raw material. And so EFS is providing what we consider to be value-based consistency to mills across the globe, and it's been trusted by the industry to manage the mill's most expensive operational costs, their raw material. And as I said, we've got a lot of history that we can go through, but I'm only going to touch quickly upon some of the major highlights. And then I'm going to turn the presentation over to Erika and Julie to explain a little bit more about what EFS is as a software package and how we market and provide service to that software system. Essentially, this all began in the 70s and 80s. The industry was working together to evaluate rapid testing systems for measuring multiple fiber properties with the idea that they wanted to be able to place those fiber quality data on green cards for marketing purposes. It was during this time that the USDA coined the phrase high volume instrument, or HVI, because these rapid testing systems were capable of testing high volumes of cotton in a short period of time. As those efforts were taking place, researchers at Cotton Incorporated began the process of evaluating, well, what would be the impact of having HVI data in a textile mill? And very quickly, with partnerships with the textile industry, they figured out that the correct use of HVI data could significantly impact the profitability of a spinning mill. As a result of that, work began on a DOS-based software based on some very simple algorithms at that time and statistical analysis that worked to try to create the ability to create even and consistent mixes using HVI data. That software system became known as MillNet. We first started marketing that in 1982, and the first two licensees signed in 1984, which gives us now 40 years of successful adoption within the industry. Some other interesting things that have occurred over time is just how we communicate data within the industry. And that began with the QRNet, Quick Response Network. This came at the need for merchants that needed a way to be able to electronically pass HVI data to textile mills. The software at that time was EDI, the Electronic Data Interchange Files, and this is before we all had email. But they were using electronic mailboxes so that the data could be exchanged with merchants and co-ops and mills and other groups. This represented and implemented a true quick response capability to the U.S. cotton market, and this process was adopted and set as the industry standard for data transmission in 1993. Over the years, we've worked a lot on increasing the abilities of our systems, and you're looking at several images over the last several slides, and the next few slides about old marketing materials and brochures, and the evolution of our software package, because essentially EFS is a package of several software programs. We've worked for handheld tools such as barcode scanners and handheld printers to do faster inventory and consumption information. We've adapted the original MillNet system over time to specifically help merchants and co-ops. We released a software package called US Crop, which Erika is going to explain shortly. And then, of course, all the evolutions of transitioning from DOS to Windows versions and adding additional capabilities and features over time. So we do have a collection of software systems, but the focus of the presentation today is what the textile spinning industry is using, and that's the MillNet software package. So while the US has always been and still remains the biggest market for EFS MillNet, we began efforts to market this software package globally in the late 1980s, always chasing after significant users of US cotton. And as you would expect, the transition of textile manufacturing out of Europe and out of the US can be mapped by the changes in the markets that we were targeting and the successes of our signings across the globe over the years. And then as you look through the list of the data there of the markets and the first events of signings in these different areas, take a note that the period from 2000 to 2020 is when we had a growing number of licensees throughout Asia and Latin America. So that's just a quick look at our history. I really want you to understand more about the EFS software, and specifically MillNet, how we market that and how we support it. So I'm going to turn the presentation over to Erika Perez to speak further about those topics, and then Julie Mendoza will cover our technical service activities. So Erika, turning it over to you.
Oh, thank you very much, Vikki. I'm very happy to be with you this morning. My name is Erika Perez, and I am the EFS Marketing Specialist at Cotton Incorporated. So this morning, I'd like to share with you how we market the EFS system, which includes covering the basics of what EFS does. So first of all, what is EFS? EFS is a software that analyzes and organizes cotton bale data, allowing cotton mills, merchants, and jeans to improve the quality of their yarn. And what does the system do? Well, it controls inventory, it helps to spin cotton with a consistent quality, it generates multiple reports for decision makers, it saves costs because having the ability to choose the right cotton for the right end product and use every cotton bale which is in the inventory. So this year we are celebrating our 4th anniversary. That means that for 4 years in an evolving industry, spinners have relied on the EFS system software experience and expertise in bale management. So as for now, EFS operates in 15 countries. The US is a country with the biggest number of spinning mills using the system. We have 12 licenses in the US, followed by Vietnam and Mexico, with 10 leading spinning mills each. And our marketing and training material is available in 7 different languages. EFS has been used to process more than 50 million bales in the past 7 years. 75% of these bales were US cotton. So currently, EFS is used in 56 companies worldwide. The system is marketed to spinning mills all over the world that consume US cotton in high volumes. We target potential EFS customers based on demand in the cotton market. We analyze the US cotton consumption in different countries, understanding in the market, and then leading companies are approached by our marketing specialists. EFS having a good reputation in the industry has been helpful for gaining new customers as well. Inevitably, when EFS users move from one company to another, they often pitch this powerful tool they had experience using to their new company. Some of the challenges that we face are competition, that means other bale management softwares, logistical difficulties in emerging markets, as well as customer differences in the way bales are warehoused and the cotton is processed. The COVID-19 pandemic boosted the need to work digitally. We explore then more digital marketing. Some of the emerging markets that we're seeing are in South Asia, such as Bangladesh and Pakistan. This represents a change since in the past few years, Vietnam has been one of the biggest consumers of US cotton. Meanwhile, in Latin America, we're observing that fabric manufacturers are opening their own spinning mills and turning themselves into vertical mills. This trend has led to several new licenses in the market in recent years. Well, as Vikki mentioned, we have also the US crop program. The EFS group also promotes the use of it. This is a free software for seeing data about the US cotton crop across different years. Users can view HPI properties of USDA class cotton for individual bales or for groups of bales. This helps cotton buyers get an idea of fiber properties and amounts of US cotton gene in a given crop year for this specific end usage, and in turn make more informed purchasing decisions. Also, spinning mills can check how the new crop is looking and prepare themselves to transition from one crop year to the next one. A relatively recent addition to US crop is a gene map that has caused a lot of interest from those looking to understand more specifics about the origin of US cotton, since the map demonstrates how US cotton can be traced back to the gene level. According to our metrics, most of those who have signed up to view and use this new feature are cotton merchants and researchers. So EFS is a long-standing software in the market. People rely on the software, on our specialists, and on Cotton Incorporated itself. To celebrate our 4th anniversary, we're doing different activities throughout this year. For example, a commemorative logo that has been integrated into our marketing material, including some relevant deliverables, and the creation of a dedicated landing page on the company website featuring exclusive content related to the 4th anniversary. Spinners rely on the EFS software, but also on the experience and expertise of the cotton bale management team behind it, and of course, the extended technical services and product opportunities from all divisions of Cotton Incorporated is a high value added bonus for our customers. So what is next for EFS? EFS Edge. EFS Edge is a branding program that's fairly new and allows EFS licensees to use EFS logos in their labels, packaging, and marketing materials. This program lets licensees show their customers that their yarn has the EFS Edge. EFS is adapting to a new world and innovating to be able to respond to a changing global market. As part of that, we promote EFS as having traceability features, and in turn, the EFS Edge program. EFS licensees are able to use the EFS brand to promote traceability as well. So now I will let Ms. Julie Mendoza, our EFS technical service specialist, to talk about the services that we offer as the EFS team.
Thank you, Erika, and good morning, everyone. As she just said, my name is Julie Mendoza, and I'm on the EFS technical service team. It's great to be with you. So what you're seeing here on your screen now is a photo of our team, technical service. As I'm sure many of you know, Cotton Incorporated has multiple offices around the world. So many of us are in the Cary office, the headquarters, but we are on my team, we represent multiple offices and time zones and languages, since we're providing tech support to those who are using US cotton in the US, in Asia, and in Latin America. And so now that you've heard a little bit from Vikki and Erika, I'm just going to get into the nuts and bolts of what equipment do we need to use the system, how do we install a new customer when they're getting started with our software, how do we get them trained up, and then what does that ongoing tech support look like going forward. All right, so there's 3 basic pieces of equipment that every EFS MilNet customer is going to need in order to use our software. First and foremost, they need a computer to install the main software, MilNet, on it. They can install this on more than one computer if that's the case at their plan, if they have multiple users. Secondly, then we're going to have folks using scanners, and that's when the bales are coming into their warehouse, they can scan the PBI tag. We also, with the third piece of equipment, are having them print an EFS MilNet specific tag. So they're printing that, and the scanners are also used to scan those tags as well. Okay, and then getting set up, when we have a new EFS customer, we are typically going on site to do that installation. And the reason that we do that is because we are tailoring how we set up the system to that individual customer, to their specific needs at their spinning mill. And while we're there, we're providing in-person training, and we do that in multiple languages, just depending on where that customer is located. And while we're there on site, we're also able to get our hands on the equipment they're going to be using. You can see a photo of some scanners there and a printer. So we actually touch everything, make sure that it is fully set up and ready for them to go, so that when we leave, they can just hit the ground running. Lastly, once they've been brought on with us, all of our customers get continuous software updates. They get technical support from us. So that looks like in-house programming, quality assurance. Customers may be requesting things. We're constantly refining it based on their feedback, based on our review. So we're providing those updates every so often. And tech support, I mentioned multiple languages. We also do multiple ways for people to contact us. So of course, phone and email, video. Sometimes we started doing more in 2020, 2021, but we've continued to do that when it's needed. And we have a customer portal, so kind of a web option for support. That's called My EFS, and that's exclusive to our EFS customers. And then lastly, we do in-person visits, just like the in-person installations. We'll go on site with spinning mills to give them some of these updates I've been discussing. And oftentimes we may bring another division from Cotton Incorporated with us. As Erika had mentioned, that's a huge value added for our EFS customers to get access to that technical support from all the different areas of expertise at Cotton Incorporated. And with that, I am going to pass it back to Vikki, and thank you all again so much.
Thank you, Julie, and thank you, Erika, both for joining me and presenting today. So this is a quick look at what we do. Yeah, I do encourage you to take a look at the links. You will be getting an email later today with the links that are currently shown on this slide. If you do nothing else, check out the main EFS page on Cotton Incorporated. We have a wonderful 10-minute video that goes into a little bit more detail in a simple manner, explaining more about what the software does. But you also get an opportunity to hear firsthand from several of our customers about the value of EFS to them. And for extra fun, that was recorded in 2016, so you get to see me with short red hair. I encourage you to check it out. So I thank everyone for your attention today, and really want to just mention, if there's any of our licensees who have watched this with us live or watch the recording later, we do want to thank you for your continued dedication to responsible manufacturing using Cotton Incorporated's engineered fiber selection. We really appreciate everyone's attention today, and I think we're going to turn it over for discussion and questions at this point.